Still reeling from Viking gods who traded eyeballs for crypto-wisdom and sacrificed goats for Wi-Fi signals, Odin salutes your endurance. But now, steel your stomach, we're entering the culinary hellscape that fueled those divine grifters. Viking food where fresh meant not actively crawling away, and fine dining was a dare against death. This is Midnight Meme Historian, and we're serving history's most hazardous menu with extra sarcasm sauce. Spoiler. Gordon Ramsay would rather eat his mic. Vikings didn't have menus, they had survival challenges. Forget Michelin stars, Vikings awarded maggot stars. Breakfast. A bowl of gruel that's basically oatmeal's sad cousin, boiled until it tastes like regret. Lunch, some dried fish that's been sitting around since your last raid, smelling like a gym locker after a power outage. Dinner, if you're lucky, a chunk of pork that's been smoked so long it's basically a fossil. Spoiler, it's not edible. When you realize your Viking diet's just a medieval version of Fear Factor. Viking food hack, if it smells like death, it's probably dinner. They ate everything: pork, beef, mutton, goats, even horses. Yeah, they were chowing down on Mr. Eid while the rest of Europe was still debating veganism. And don't think they had a fancy sous vide. They cooked over open fires, so every bite was either charred to ash or raw enough to moo. Bread, sure, if you like it hard as a brick and flavored with despair. Fruits and veggies, only when the seasons allowed and usually covered in dirt, when your salad's just weeds with a side of existential dread. You're a Viking and your farm-to-table is just your backyard with a half-dead goat. Dairy was their jam. Butter, cheese, and skyr. Think yogurt, but angrier. They'd churn it by hand while cursing their cousin for stealing their best cow. And drinks, mead was the star, made from honey, water, and whatever else they could ferment. It's like if a beehive and a dumpster had a baby. Holy shit, really. They drank that stuff like it was Gatorade after a raid. When you realize Viking hydration's just be puke with a buzz. Still chowing down, Chad. You've got the stomach of a Viking with a tapeworm. Feasts were their big flex. After a successful raid, they'd slaughter a whole cow, roast it over a fire, and eat until they passed out. It's like Thanksgiving, but with more blood and fewer family arguments, because those ended in stabbings. They'd chug meat in drinking contests, racing to see who could black out first. Spoiler, it's always Bjorn, face down in the stew. When you realize Viking parties were just jackass with worse catering. Viking feast hack, eat fast or your cousin's stealing your pork. No forks, no spoons, just hands and maybe a knife if you were bougie. Imagine tearing into a chicken while your buddy brags about looting a monastery. It's messy, it's loud, and it's why their grip strength could crush a TikTok influencer's ego. Holy shit, really. They ate with their hands in a room full of unwashed raiders. That's not dining, that's a biohazard. When you realize Viking table manners were just grab it before it grows legs. Preservation, forget fridges. They smoked, dried, or pickled everything. Fish was fermented until it smelled like a chemical spill. Iceland's hackarl, it's shark meat buried in a pit until it's basically radioactive. Gordon Ramsay tried it and called it a crime against protein. Holy shit, really. They ate that willingly. It's like if your leftovers decided to haunt you, when you realize Viking food storage is just a horror movie with extra salt. When your dinner's so bad, even the rats file a complaint. In 2025, Viking food would be a TikTok challenge gone wrong. Day 30 of eating like a Viking. Cue some influencer gagging on fermented fish while their followers spam F. It's like those extreme diet fads, but instead of keto, it's eat this or starve. Trump would probably call it the best diet. Nobody eats better than Vikings. Meanwhile, he's choking on hackarl while tweeting about his tremendous gut health. Musk, he'd try to 3D print Viking gruel with Neuralink, claiming it's the future of nutrition. Spoiler, it's still just sadness in a bowl, when you realize Viking food's like a crypto crash, hyped up but nobody's buying. Hey Karen, still watching, you've got more guts than a Viking eating week-old seal blubber. This is why Midnight Meme Historian exists, to remind you, beautiful, misguided time travelers, that history wasn't a gourmet meal. It was a dumpster fire buffet. You think your gluten-free diet's rough? Try surviving on moldy bread and fish that smells like a crime scene. Survive the food poisoning, don't puke yet, next episode's deadlier. IKING economics. Where profit meant selling your kids to slavery, NFTs were stolen Saint bones, and Trump's art of the deal was scribbled in goat blood. Subscribe now, you gluttons for punishment, or Odin will repo your kidneys for a mead debt. If you're still here, you're either a foodie with no taste or you just love suffering. Either way, smash that subscribe button like a Viking smashing a Saxon village. No mercy, just loot for our algorithm. Drop a comment about the grossest thing you've ever eaten, and let's keep this roast of humanity's worst meals rolling. Worst food you've ever eaten, fermented shark, school cafeteria mystery meat. Subscribe or Loki will scam your crypto wallet and sell your data to Odin's ravens. Share this with your vegan friend, they'll use it as trauma therapy. Midnight meme historian. Making food poisoning entertaining since 2025. Your move, regurgitators.